Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you may please take a seat. We're about to begin the presentation. Thank you. All right. So it is 5:31 p.m. on Thursday, May 16th, 2024, and we will now begin this public meeting. Good evening and welcome to the Florida Department of Transportation's hybrid public information meeting for the 7 Mile Bridge Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study for the State Road 5, US 1, Overseas Highway 7 Mile Bridge over the Moser Channel. The financial management number is 448207-1-22-01, and the Efficient Transportation Decision Making, or ETDM, number is 14513. My name is Maureen Balmaceda, and I am the Community Outreach Specialist for the project and tonight's moderator. The Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT, is conducting this public kickoff meeting in a hybrid format to provide you with multiple opportunities to learn about the project, become familiar with the study process, and provide feedback. Participants can join in person and virtually on GoToWebinar by dialing in through their phone and via broadcast on MCTV 76. We are hosting tonight's in-person event at the Marathon Government Center, located at 2798 Overseas Highway, Marathon, Florida 33050. If you would like to provide a written comment, you may do so at the comment table, or you may fill out a speaker card at the comment table, and you will be called to the microphone to speak in the order in which your speaker card was received. For those joining us on GoToWebinar, participants will remain muted throughout the presentation. Questions and comments can be submitted in the question pane, and if you wish to speak, click the Raise Hand button and you will be unmuted during the question and answer session. For those dialing in, you will be in listen-only mode. If you are calling via a phone, you can submit your comments via the project website at www.7milebridge.com, or a variety of ways that we will share later on in the presentation. All of the information being presented at tonight's in-person event will be available on the project's website. Before we start the presentation, we would like to share some information to help you participate in the meeting. For our online participants, we are using the GoToWebinar platform for the meeting. There is no cost to the public to log in or dial in to participate in the meeting. On your computer or device screen, you should see something that looks like the image in the right corner. To listen to the meeting, your computer or device speakers are selected by default. If you prefer to listen by phone, select phone call in the audio pane of the control panel and dial in using the information provided. The blue arrow points to the question pane. You can type a comment or question into the question pane at any time during the meeting. Then click Send to submit your comment or question to staff. The questions submitted will be answered after the presentation. If we do not get to your question, an answer will be provided at a later date. If you would like to speak and share your comment verbally, please click on the Raise Hand button as highlighted with the yellow outline. If you are participating via telephone and have questions or comments, please call the FDOT Project Manager at 305-470-5271 or at raul.quintela@dot.state.fl.us. That's RAUL.QUINTELA@dot.state.fl.us after the meeting, and a response will be provided. Their contact information is also provided at the end of the presentation. If you experience any technical issues during the meeting, please type the issue in the question pane or send an email to Liz Campos at liz.campos@hdrinc.com or call 917-913-9638 to report it. Our staff will do their best to assist you. Si necesita traducción, por favor comuníquese con nosotros sometiendo su información de contacto en el question pane o llamando al gerente de proyecto al 305-470-5271 o enviándole un correo electrónico a Raúl Quintela, RAUL.QUINTELA@dot.state.fl.us. In advance of today's public meeting, we use the following channels to notify the public of the event and how to join. Property owner and tenant notifications were mailed. Emails were sent to the project contact list. Advertisements were placed in the local Keys Weekly newspapers for the lower, middle, and upper Keys. An announcement aired on US 1 radio. FDOT District 6 posted on social media and asked partner agencies to share. The meeting information was added on the project website, and an ad was posted in the Florida Administrative Register. In addition to the previously mentioned public notices, the project team attended the 7 Mile Bridge Run registration to hand out public notices to all local residents that were registered to run the race. Staff engaged with registrants along the car pickup line and answered questions. We understand that the 7 Mile Bridge is an important part of your community, and as such, it is important to us to hear from you. Community is at the center of this PD&E study, and there will be multiple opportunities for public participation today and throughout the study process. The Florida Department of Transportation is required to comply with various non-discrimination laws and regulations, including the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting either the Florida Department of Transportation District 6 Interim Title VI Coordinator, Tish Berger, at 305-470-5277, or send her an email at tish.burger@dot.state.fl.us, or you can write her at 1000 111th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33172. Or you may contact the statewide Title VI Coordinator, Stefan Kulikowski, at 850-414-4742. Or you can email him at stefan.kulakowski kowski@dot.state.fl.us, or you can write him at 605 Suwannee Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 32399. For more information on Title VI, you can also visit www.fdot.gov/equal opportunity/Title VI contacts.shtm. The environmental review, consultation, and other actions required by applicable federal environmental laws for this project are being or have been carried out by the Florida Department of Transportation pursuant to 23 United States Code Section 327 and a memorandum of understanding dated May 26, 2022, and executed by the Federal Highway Administration and FDOT. At this time, we would like to recognize all federal, state, county, and city officials who are present with us today. So we would, in attendance with us today, we have Commissioner Michelle Lincoln, District 2 of Monroe County. Thank you for joining us today, Commissioner. We also have Commissioner David Rice, District 4, Monroe County. Thank you for joining us. Virtually, we do have Commissioner Tom Harding from Key Colony Beach. And we also have Mayor Holly Merrill Rashine from Monroe County, and Representative Jim Mooney. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. If we did not say your name and you are an elected official, please raise your hand to be recognized or put your name and title in the question pane. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure no one's online. Give it a minute. All right. Thank you for your participation in today's meeting, and now we will proceed with our presentation. For tonight's public kickoff, we will review the project location, the transportation project delivery process, the PD&E study process, then provide some facts on the existing 7-mile bridge. We will share the project purpose and need, describe the alternatives evaluation process, and the engineering and environmental analyses, and an overview of the agency coordination process, go over the project schedule, and then we will move into the question and answer session. We will also provide you with some key project contacts before we adjourn. Now I will pass it to the FDOT project manager, Mr. Raul Quintela.
Good evening. My name is Raul Quintela. I'm the FDOT project manager for the 7-mile bridge. The Florida Department of Transportation is conducting a PD&E study for the 7-mile bridge, which carries State Road 5, US 1 overseas highways over the Moser Channel. The bridge is located in the Middle Keys and is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean on the south side and the Gulf of Mexico in the north side. The project extends from Little Dog Key at the south end, just south of mile marker 40, to Knights Key, just north of mile marker 47. It's all within Monroe County, and the eastern portion of the project is within the city of Marathon. The total project length is approximately 7.5 miles. This slide showcases the FDOT compass, which highlights the main focus areas for FDOT. Those are safety, resiliency, supply chain, technology, workforce development, and in the center of the compass is communities, as everything we do in DOT impacts our communities. The 7-mile bridge, we understand it's of tremendous importance for the Florida Keys, as it is one iconic feature for the Keys. The bridge represents the history, the engineering innovation, and the unique lifestyle of the Florida Keys. It is also a vital transportation facility that connects the lower Keys with the mainland Florida. Safety is also a big part of what we do. We're going to be considering alternatives that will replace the bridge if they become the preferred alternative, and if that's the case, we'll consider wider shoulders and also bicycle and pedestrian facilities, which will enhance safety for all users of the bridge. We address resiliency by evaluating alternatives for full replacement, which would provide a new facility, and we will utilize the latest technology, construction technology, and materials. The alternatives that we'll be evaluating for the bridge, and at the end we're going to come up with the preferred alternative. They will all improve the access to the lower Keys. This will support supply chain and workforce development. The main focus areas for the state are also represented in the purpose and need. The purpose and need is to evaluate alternatives to address the structural deficiencies of the bridge. And we're going to be evaluating the potential social, economic, and environmental effects associated with the improvements. The main focus areas for the PD&E study will be safety, mobility for all users, structural resiliency, and evacuation and emergency response. The anticipated class of action for this PD&E will be environmental assessment. The class of action is determined by the type of documentation that is required depending on the project that is required for the PD&E. And with this, I'm going to turn it over to Sylvia. She will provide you more details on the project and the process.
Thank you, Raul. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sylvia Beltry, and I am the consultant project manager. The 7 Mile Bridge is an iconic symbol of the Florida Keys and the state of Florida, and is part of the 110-mile Florida Keys Scenic Highway. This section of State Road 5, US 1 Overseas Highway is also included in Federal Highway Administration's America's Byway program as an all-American road, connecting the Florida Keys to the mainland of Florida. 7 Mile Bridge was constructed in 1982, and at that time represented the longest concrete box girder bridge, also known as a segmental bridge, in the U.S. It was built adjacent to the old 7 Mile Bridge, which carried the Overseas Railroad until 1935. Portions of the old 7 Mile Bridge were later repurposed as a bike path and fishing pier as part of the Florida Keys Overseas Heritage Trail, which is owned by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Division of State Parks. The Florida Keys Heritage Trail, however, is not continuous. The 7 Mile Bridge is approximately 7 miles long, with a vertical clearance over the Moser Channel of 65 feet and a horizontal clearance of 90 feet. There are 236 low-level piers and 29 high-level piers. Along the bridge, there are 2 12-foot travel lanes and 6-foot shoulders on both sides. There are no sidewalks along the existing bridge. The roadway north and south of the bridge also has 2 12-foot travel lanes with shoulders varying in width and generally marked as bicycle lanes on the northern approach. The bridge has been repaired and retrofitted 6 times through 2019. Upcoming repairs are scheduled to begin in December of 2025. The transportation project delivery process involves a number of stages: planning, project development and environment, study, design, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and maintenance. We are currently in the project development and environment phase, or the PD&E study phase. The PD&E study involves a comprehensive evaluation of potential social, economic, cultural, and environmental effects associated with a planned transportation project, so that FDOT can reach a decision on the type, location, and conceptual design to meet the project's proposed purpose and need. A PD&E study is needed to evaluate project feasibility and potential environmental impacts, comply with federal and state environmental laws, and secure federal regulatory approval and federal funding. There is continued agency and community engagement throughout the entire project delivery process. Once the Office of Environmental Management approves the preferred alternative, the project proceeds to the design phase, followed by right-of-way acquisition if it is required, and construction once construction is funded. A PD&E study begins with data collection. Existing conditions within the project limits are reviewed, and engineering issues and concerns are studied, and then alternatives are developed. During the PD&E study, environmental and engineering analyses are performed and documented regarding the proposed transportation improvement. Engineering analyses will develop alternative that meets the needs of the project. The environmental analysis will determine potential impacts the project might have on the social, natural, cultural, and physical environments. These analyses will support decisions regarding alternatives developed and identification of a preferred alternative. Public involvement is ongoing throughout the study. Your input also supports the project recommendations. There is no need to wait until any public meeting to provide your input. Public comments and questions are welcomed at any time throughout the study. The bridge sufficiency rating is 49.1. The sufficiency rating is a method established by the Federal Highway Administration to evaluate the health of a bridge and also serves as a tool to prioritize and allocate funding. The bridge sufficiency rating evaluates 4 separate factors to indicate the health of a particular bridge. These include structural adequacy and safety, serviceability and functionality, importance of the bridge to the community, and special reductions. A sufficiency rating less than 50 indicates that the bridge is eligible for Federal Highway Bridge Program funding as a replacement. A low sufficiency rating does not mean that the bridge is unsafe. The 7 Mile Bridge is not structurally deficient. The bridge has faced repeated durability and maintenance issues, which have led to 6 major rehabilitations through 2019. The annual cost of maintaining the existing bridge will continue to increase. In February of 2022, an FDOT bridge replacement report recommended replacing the bridge rather than continuing to rehabilitate it, and noted that a new bridge could be designed to minimize corrosion and maintenance costs. Furthermore, a new bridge would be designed to meet the minimum FDOT 75-year bridge service life requirement. To preserve the service life of the existing bridge, a bridge rehabilitation project is scheduled to begin in December of 2025. Please don't confuse this PD&E study with the bridge repair project. Work for the rehabilitation is expected to be complete by October of 2026. This construction schedule is subject to change. For more information on the bridge rehabilitation project, please contact the FDOT project manager, Hope Sotolongo Miranda, at HOPE.SOTOLONGO@dot.state.fl.us. The following 2 slides will highlight features and constraints located within and adjacent to the project area, which will support the development of evaluation criteria for the alternatives. The study area begins at the Lower Keys approach to the 7 Mile Bridge on Little Duck Key. The first western half of the project is shown on this slide. The inset, located on the bottom right, shows the tie-in at Little Duck Key. Number 1 in the inset represents the Veterans Memorial Beach, which is located on the south side. Number 2 represents the Little Duck Key Wayside Public Boat Ramp, which is located on the north side. The old 7 Mile Bridge is located north of the existing 7 Mile Bridge. The Florida Keys Overseas Heritage Trail, shown as red and white dashed lines, follows the old 7 Mile Bridge from the boat ramp towards the city of Marathon for approximately 0.7 miles. The Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority maintains a 24-inch water main within the existing bridge. Overhead power lines, shown in black-pink dashed line, parallel and cross the existing bridge. The 7 Mile Bridge traverses multiple unnamed channels for small vessels, and sensitive natural resources such as seagrasses are present within the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. The second eastern half of the bridge is shown on this slide. Letter A, and at the inset at the top left of the slide, shows the location of the Moser Channel, which is considered navigable by the U.S. Coast Guard. The study area ends at the City of Marathon approach on Knights Key. The inset, located on the bottom right, shows a tie-in at Knights Key. Number 1 on the inset represents the Sunset Grill and Raw Bar located on the south side. Number 2 and 3 represent the 7 Mile Bridge Vista Point and Rest Area Scenic Overlook located on the north side. The Overseas Heritage Trail follows the old 7 Mile Bridge from the 7 Mile Bridge Vista Point towards Pigeon Key for approximately 2 miles. Pigeon Key is shown as letter B and also on the second inset at the top of the slide. Pigeon Key is a National Historic Landmark. Note that today's presentation and both the project fact sheet and newsletter are included as a handout for the virtual meeting, available at the in-person event and uploaded to the project's website. During a PD&E study, several alternatives are evaluated. The no action or no build alternative is one where no improvements are made. This alternative remains viable throughout the study and serves as a baseline for comparison to other build alternatives. The Transportation System Management and Operations, or TSM&O alternative, will evaluate operational strategies to preserve capacity and improve the safety and reliability of the transportation system while minimizing environmental impacts. The rehabilitation or repair alternative will also be considered to compare the need to rehabilitate or repair the bridge against the build alternatives. The build alternatives will be based on bridge replacement options that maintain a 2-lane facility but evaluate wider shoulders to enhance safety and support emergency response and hurricane evacuation, and consider bicycle and pedestrian facilities as well. Build alternatives will include alignments along the existing bridge and alignments to the north and south of the existing bridge. Alternatives will be developed to address the purpose and need with input obtained throughout the study process from the general public and federal, state, and local governmental agencies. Build alternatives will be developed to meet roadway and bridge design criteria with a goal of minimizing impacts to the community and the natural, cultural, and physical environments. All alternatives developed will be compared against the evaluation criteria and presented to the public during a future alternatives public meeting. The alternatives evaluation process for the 7 Mile Bridge will occur in steps and includes continuous community engagement throughout the process. In step 1, a preliminary analysis of alternative concepts will be conducted to determine the alignment, which is the potential location options for the new bridge, and the typical section, which is the potential options for the width of the new bridge. This includes the width of the 2 travel lanes, shoulders, and options for pedestrian and bicycle facilities on the bridge. A high-level screening of alternative concepts will identify those that should advance to step 2. Step 2 includes the detailed engineering and environmental analyses of the build alternatives, which will consist of the combined and improved concepts from step 1. Alternatives will be developed based on bridge and roadway design criteria. Such items include bridge horizontal and vertical clearance, bridge and roadway alignment, bridge and roadway bicycle and pedestrian facilities, maintenance of traffic, and constructability. Other areas of analysis will incorporate design requirements for utilities, drainage, coastal influences, geotechnical characteristics, and miscellaneous structures. Results of these analyses will be documented in individual technical memorandum or reports and summarized in the project's preliminary engineering report. This documentation will be made available later during the PD&E study. Alternatives will be evaluated as it relates to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environments, with the goal being to avoid or minimize impacts to these resources. Results of these analyses will be documented and reports will be prepared and also become available later during the PD&E study. Due to the location of the 7 Mile Bridge, coordination with federal, state, and local agencies, along with public stakeholders, is critical to the development of project alternatives and the selection of a preferred alternative. The U.S. Coast Guard is a cooperating agency. The project team will be establishing an environmental forum, This group will meet to discuss environmental constraints, environmental assessment methodologies, and facilitate agency coordination and collaboration. The information will be documented and will be available as part of the project record. The PD&E study started in December of 2023 and is anticipated to be complete by December of 2026. After completion of the PD&E phase, the preferred alternative will move to design, followed by right-of-way acquisition if it is needed. The construction phase, however, is currently unfunded in FDOT's 5-year work program. The process from PD&E to design and construction for a project of this magnitude is lengthy. We are at the very early stages, and it is too soon to know when construction will occur. During the PD&E study, there will be a number of engagement opportunities, including an alternatives meeting in early 2025 and a public hearing in the summer of 2026. As a reminder, please don't confuse this PD&E study with the bridge repair project that is beginning in December of 2025. Maureen?
We encourage you to stay connected throughout the project. There is a contact form on the project website where you can join the mailing list and or submit a comment or question. Please note that the contacts listed on the screen are available if you have any questions or comments during the study. In addition to the project manager, you may contact Sylvia Beltry, the consultant project manager, at sbeltry@ardura.com. That's SBELTRE at ARDURRA.com, or myself, Maureen Balmaceda, at maureen.balmaceda@hdrinc.com. That's MAURENE.BALMACEDA@hdrinc.com. We will continue to be active on our social media channels and post notices of upcoming meetings on the project website. As part of FDOT's commitment to safety through the statewide Target Zero campaign, we would like to take a quick moment to remind you to stay focused on the road so that we can all get home safely. This part of the meeting is to hear from you. Your comments and questions will help the project team develop the alternatives to better serve the users of the bridge. Comments and questions are welcomed from all of our participants and can be submitted in 2 formats, written and verbal. If you are participating online, you can submit written comments in the question pane on the GoToWebinar control panel. If you wish to speak, please click on the Raise Hand button and we will unmute you and introduce you before you provide your comment. You will need to unmute yourself as well from your end to speak. We ask that you limit your comments or question to 3 minutes to allow everyone the chance to speak. You will be muted once more once you provide your question or comment. For in-person attendees, you may provide a written comment or fill out a speaker card at the comment table. You will be called to the microphone to speak in the order in which your speaker card was received. Again, we ask that you please limit your comment to 3 minutes to allow everyone the chance to speak. Written comments can also be submitted on the project website at www.7milebridge.com. That's www.7milebridge.com. You may also email or mail your comments and questions to the project manager directly. The project manager's contact information is displayed on screen, and you can email him at raul.quintela@dot.state.fl.us. That's raul.quintela@dot.state.fl.us, or you may call him at 305-470-5271. The contact information is also available on the public meeting notification that you may have received by mail. For those joining on GoToWebinar, here is a reminder for how to write in your comment. The blue arrow points to the question pane. You can type a comment or question into the question pane at any time during the meeting. Then click Send to submit your comment or question to staff. If we do not get to your question, an answer will be provided at a later date. If you would like to speak and share your comment verbally, please click on the Raise Hand button as highlighted with the yellow outline. Once again, we ask that you limit your comment to 3 minutes to allow the chance for others to comment. All right. So we will now welcome comments from the audience. Do any of the in-person audience members have any comments that they would like to provide at the microphone? All right, let me check if we have any comments from online users. Okay, we do have a comment from an online user. And their question is, what is the approximate timeline for the step 1 alternative screening?
Thank you for that. Again, Sylvia Beltry, the consultant project manager. The project, as I mentioned, the study began in December of 2023. From now until this meeting here, we've been collecting existing data, conducting existing conditions analysis, and after this meeting, we will start looking into the step 1. Step 1 is anticipated to take between 3 to 4 months. As part of step 1, there will be evaluation as part of the environmental forum, where we'll meet with the agencies as well. And the intent is to overlap step 1 and step 2 would happen after that, 3 to 4 months, with the goal of getting to the alternatives workshop, where the alternatives will be available for the public to view in early 2025, not December, early 2025. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We now have a verbal comment from an online participant, Mr. Mark Terrell. We will unmute you on our end. If you could please proceed with your question.
Hi, my name is Mark Terrell. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Terrell.
Okay. Yeah. My question is on the pedestrian bike lane. Are you going to create a barricade between the highway shoulder and the lane, or is this going to be more of a visual?
Mr. Terrell, unfortunately, you did break up on our end. We did not catch your question. Can you repeat yourself one more time?
If I heard part of his question, and I believe he's asking if the bicycle and pedestrian facilities will be separated from the traffic, and those are the options that we are looking at. One of those options is a shared use path, which would be barrier separated from vehicular traffic. Does that address your question?
Yep. Mr. Terrell, if you would like to put your other question in the question pane, we can answer it that way. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear you.
Okay, thank you. You answered my question.
Okay, wonderful.
Great.
Okay. We have no one from in person. All right, we'll continue with our online questions. This question asks, will the bike and pedestrian lanes provided on the new bridge become an official part of the Overseas Heritage Trail managed by the Florida Department of Environmental Protections and Parks or by FDOT?
So any facilities that would be part of the replacement bridge would be part of FDOT. It would be under their jurisdiction. The Overseas Heritage Trail will remain the Overseas Heritage Trail under the jurisdiction of the Florida Department of Environmental Protection.
Okay. Our next question asks, will any of the alternatives involve property takings on Knights Key?
So we haven't started looking at any alternatives. We're very early in the process. This is the kickoff meeting. That's the next step, is starting to look at alignments. Once we look at alignments, we look at a number of engineering factors as well as environmental considerations. Right-of-way is one of them, utilities is other, access is another. All that is part of the analysis that's done for the engineering as well as other for the environment. So right now, too early to tell, but more information would be provided at the alternatives workshop, again, early 2025.
Okay. We have another online comment who asks, who will be conducting the marine remote sensing and geophysical surveys?
So we have a lot of environmental surveys that are being conducted as part of this study. I'll ask Javier Pagan, our environmental lead, to dive into this one.
So good evening, Javier Pagan, environmental lead on the project. So the folks contracted are folks that have experience working with the 7 Mile Bridge. They're a part of our team. We have Terramar, we have Cummins Cedarburg, and they will be working closely with NOAA Fisheries, the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary, FDEP, Water Management, Monroe County, all those agencies. But those are the folks we've got working with folks that have worked in the Keys, have a lot of experience in the Keys.
Okay. We do not have any more questions right now, but please write your question in the question pane if you have one. If you would like to provide a verbal comment and you are a virtual participant, please raise your hand and we will unmute you for you to provide your comment. Also, do please remember as you're sitting at home and you say, oh, I forgot to ask that question, you still can. You can access our comment form on the project website at www.7milebridge.com, or you can email any of the contact emails that we listed earlier on in the presentation. We will list later on as well. We just have a general comment saying that they appreciate knowing several years out rather than 1 year. So thank you for the early proactive update.
You're welcome.
Okay. I believe this question was someone answered earlier, but what bicycle and pedestrian facilities are being considered that will enhance safety for all users? Or how will safety be enhanced on the bridge?
So that's correct. In addition to bicycle and pedestrian facilities, we are evaluating wider shoulders. Right now, the shoulders on the existing lanes, the existing bridge are only 6 foot wide, which makes it difficult if there's a car breakdown or someone has to pull over. There's not a whole lot of space there. So replacement options would look at providing that wider shoulders, which provides for safety. In addition, from a safety perspective, we're looking at detailed crash history to see if on either approach, if there's any improvements that we can make to enhance safety there as well.
Okay. Yeah, can you please come up to the microphone to provide your question? Thank you.
I'm loud, so I can just have to hear.
It's for our virtual participants to hear. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Hello, Janine Stanwood, Local 10, Key Largo resident also. So if the new bridge were to be built, is there any thinking that it would be more than 2 lanes, or is 2 lanes, 1 lane in each direction still the plan?
Thank you for that question. So the purpose and need of this project is to evaluate the structural deficiencies of the existing bridge and enhance safety, hurricane evacuation, and emergency response. Right now, capacity is not part of that purpose and need. So the current bridge replacement alternatives will be based on 2 lanes of traffic. A traffic study will be conducted that will confirm the capacity needs for the study as well.
All right. If you do have a question or comment, please remember to type it in the question pane, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute you. Right. No more questions so far. Okay, we'll give it like 5 more minutes. Wonderful. If you did not do so already, there are project fact sheets and project newsletter available at the comment table. You may provide your written comment. I know public speaking is hard. I speak from experience. You also are able to download, for our virtual participants, you are able to download the project fact sheet and the newsletter. We do have Spanish versions available on our project website as well. And a copy of tonight's presentation is also included as a handout for our virtual participants and on the project website. Okay. Good. Okay. All right, well, thank you everyone for providing your comments. Please feel free to submit any additional comments after tonight's meeting. There is a contact form on the project website where you can join the mailing list and or submit a comment or question. 1 second, I think I'm getting something. Sorry, there is one participant that would like to speak. All right, we have Mr. Roman Gastesi. We will unmute you now, Mr. Gastesi, and if you could please unmute yourself and you can provide your comment. Mr. Gastesi, can you hear us? Okay, Mr. Gastesi, you would have to unmute yourself in order to speak. Okay. Yeah, you would like to provide a verbal comment? Okay, we have Commissioner Lincoln who would like to provide a comment.
Hello, and thank you so much for being here. And I'm so happy that so many people from our community are also here. I am Michelle Lincoln, County Commissioner. That was Roman Gastesi who was trying to plug into you, and I don't know what he wanted to say, but he is our one of our county administrators. He's on retirement right now, but I'm sure he wanted to say what I'm going to say, which is thank you all so much for being here. More importantly, thank you to our community for being here. Please take advantage of these next several months to continue engaging with Florida Department of Transportation to let everyone know what we want for this new bridge, if that is the alternative that goes forward. I know that a lot of the people in my community are really excited about the idea of a dedicated pedestrian bicycle lane because it is so much fun to travel through the Keys walking and bicycling, and this would just be a wonderful way for them to safely get from one side of the bridge to the other. So again, thank you all, everyone in the community, and you all for being here. We look forward to continuing to be great partners with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And I echo the Commissioner's request. Please submit your comments to the project team. You can go on the project website. You can leave your comments here today. This is why we do this. This is what the kickoff meeting is for, to get your feedback before we start.
Yep. Mr. Mark Terrell has another question. We will now unmute Mr. Mark Terrell, and please unmute yourself, sir.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I have a statement. I deal in the bike business, and for the last 13 years, I can tell you I've received phone calls from all over the world, people very concerned about bicycling over the 7 Mile Bridge. And if you were to have a designated bike lane, go over the 7 Mile Bridge, not only would that enhance, I think, the type of tourism that the Keys really would like, but also it just would promote safety. And also all the years I've gone over the 7 Mile Bridge on a bike, I've just noticed an uptick of runners and hikers. And I think this would just put Monroe County on the map in terms of being a world-class bicycling destination. So what you guys, if you could do anything to enhance a great bike lane, pedestrian path on the 7 Mile Bridge, it would be a great benefit to Monroe County.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would also like to say, Mr. Gastesi, if you still have a question, you can write it into the question pane and we can read it aloud. Okay. Sorry.
So my question is regarding, once again, bike lanes. I'm an avid cyclist. I love the weather down there, especially when it's cooler, not like today. But the question is, I'm thinking, when you say designated bike lane, I'm thinking something like the Brooklyn Bridge, whereas you have lanes for vehicle and then you have a divider and then pedestrian, walking, running, cycling path, and then, of course, another divider and then edge of the water. Is that what the design thought could be?
Yes, the shared use path includes exactly that, a barrier separated from vehicular traffic and, of course, from the water as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for your comment. Okay.
So if I may add, as we start looking at alternatives in typical sections, those kind of things, that's what we need to hear from you all. What are your preferences? So we can take that into consideration as we start developing the typical section for the bridge and the alignment options.
All right. We now have a verbal comment from Mr. Michael Roll. Mr. Michael, we will be unmuting you now, and if you can please unmute yourself and provide your comment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. My question's about speed enforcement, law enforcement along that uninterrupted section of highway. Current bridge allows for a lot of overspeed users. Is there any accommodation for a pull-off for law enforcement or any byways for them to do greater safety and speed enforcement? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So as I mentioned previously, the options that we consider for replacement options will include wider shoulders, and those shoulders would accommodate just that. They would provide a little safe space for you to pull off if there's enforcement or if there's a car breaking down, a vehicle breaking down. That would be one way to handle that. Walfrey, is there anything you would like to add for that?
Yeah, just this is Walfrey Pavita. I'm the roadway lead with Ardura. I think the gentleman referred also to like travel speeds through the corridor. We know that they vary. If you're coming from the south and traveling north, a little bit higher speeds on the lower keys. The bridge itself is actually posted at 55 miles per hour. And then as you get into Marathon, the posted speed reduces to like 45 miles an hour. So as part of the study, we're looking at target speeds, design speeds, and then what would be the most appropriate way to post the speed limits through the project. And then if we need to warn motorists as they're traveling through the bridge of upcoming speed changes, that's something else we'll be taking into account.
Thank you. All right. Currently, we do not have any more requests. Mr. Gastesi did not write in an answer, so I think you covered it, Commissioner Lincoln. His sentiment. Okay. All right. So once more, we would like to thank you for your comments. Feel free to submit additional comments after tonight's meeting. There is a contact form on the project website where you can join the mailing list and or submit a comment or question. Please note the contacts listed on the screen are available if you have any questions or comments during this study. The contacts are also listed on the project newsletter that you received as a handout or on the project website. A reminder that tonight's presentation will also be available on the project website. On behalf of the Florida Department of Transportation and our presenters, thank you for joining us today, and you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you.